He got it. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. What a beautiful day. Please find your seats. No, they didn't. I'm going to make some remarks. I got remarks. As a courtesy, we ask that you please silence your cell phones and other electronic devices. For guests joining virtually, please mute your microphones. For SOUTHCOM personnel, please put away security badges. We'd like to thank the 13th Army Band for their pre-ceremony performance this morning. Your participation is truly appreciated. For those in uniform, unless directly participating in the ceremony, please remain uncovered. This ceremony will begin momentarily. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Relinquishment of Command ceremony, in which Admiral Alvin Holsey, United States Navy, will relinquish command to Lieutenant General Evan L. Pettus, United States Air Force. This ceremony also marks Admiral Holsey's retirement, a distinguished career of more than 37 years of honorable service in the United States Naval Forces. United States Southern Command is composed of component commands and joint task forces. They are represented today by their commanders and command senior enlisted leaders. The service components are United States Army South, headquartered at Fort Sam Houston, Texas. United States Marine Forces South, headquartered in New Orleans, Louisiana. United States Naval Forces South, headquartered at Naval Station Mayport, Florida. United States Air Forces Southern, headquartered at Davis-Monthan Air Force Base, Arizona. United States Operations Command South, located at Homestead Air Reserve Base, Florida. And United States Space Forces Southern, headquartered at Davis-Monthan Air Base, Arizona. The joint task forces are Joint Interagency Task Force South, located at Key West, Florida. Joint Task Force Guantanamo, located at Naval Station Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. Joint Task Force Bravo, located at Soto Cano Air Base, Honduras. Joint Security Cooperation Group, Panama, located at Panama City, Panama. Joint Task Force Southern Guard, located at Naval Station Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. And Joint Task Force Operation Southern Spear. We also welcome elected officials, federal, state, and military senior leaders, and our local community leaders. We are greatly honored to welcome today's presiding official, General Dan Kane, United States Air Force, the 22nd Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for honors, the presentation of colors, the national anthem, and the invocation. In accordance with naval traditions, we will pipe aboard the official party. It is customary to render hand salute from the first note of the bosun's pipe. Bandmasters, sound attention. Time orderly, strike 8 bells. Lieutenant General, United States Air Force, arriving. Time orderly, strike 8 bells. United States Southern Command arriving. Time orderly, strike 8 bells. Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff arriving. March on the colors. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem sung by Yeoman First Class Andrew Powell, United States Navy.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we'd watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag, it was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Retire the colors.
Stand by. Colors.
Bosun, post the side boys. Ladies and gentlemen, Chaplain Michael Baker, United States Southern Command Chaplain, will now offer the invocation.
Let us pray. Eternal Father, today we gather in solemn respect as the baton of leadership is passed from Admiral Alvin Holsey to Lieutenant General Lamar Pettus. We thank Admiral Holsey for his steadfast service, his leadership, and leading with honor, dedication, and integrity. Through calm waters and turbulent seas alike, he faithfully kept the helm and upheld the trust placed in him. As command is relinquished into the capable hands of Lieutenant General Lamar Pettus, we ask your blessings be upon this new leader. Grant wisdom, courage, and clarity to him as he leads those entrusted to his care within the Southern Command area of operations. Grant fair winds and following seas to Admiral Holsey, and the steadfast integrity and inspirational leadership to Lieutenant General Pettus. May your protective hand always be upon both of these men as they chart their new courses. In the anchorage of your name we pray these things. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Thank you, Chaplain Baker, for the inspiring words, and Yeoman First Class Powell for the beautiful rendition of our national anthem. It's my pleasure now to introduce the presiding official and our guest speaker for today's ceremony, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Kane.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that, and good morning, everybody. I'm not going to lie to you. It is awesome to be down here and out of D.C. when you look around this incredible weather compared to the freezing cold that's up there in Washington. Bull, Stephanie, secretaries, former secretaries, civic leaders, distinguished guests, component commanders, SOUTHCOM friends and families, good morning. Thank you all for traveling to be here today to celebrate an extraordinary journey by two of my favorite people, Bull and Stephanie Holsey. Give them a big round of applause as we start their graduation today. On behalf of 2.8 million members of the Joint Force, we're excited about your graduation, and it really is a graduation, not a retirement. As somebody who's been there and done that before, I can tell you that life on the other side is awesome. Today's about celebrating you, Bull, and your incredible gift of service that you've given our nation for 37 and a half years to our United States Navy and to our Joint Force. And Bull, you're an extraordinary human who's always led with your heart, your head, and gone all in every single day of your service, and led with amazing, amazing leadership skill. When I first met you some time ago, I was struck by your quiet leadership, although Stephanie told me earlier that when you get going, you can get going, which I think most folks that know you and love you know that as well. But you've always led with empathy, compassion, and care for those that have been lucky enough and blessed enough to serve with you and for you. But before I talk more about you, I want to talk about what really got you here, and that's this extraordinary person sitting in the front row out here, your amazing bride and your two kids, Dr. Stephanie and your two kids, which I'll talk about here in a second. But your example of journey in service really started with your late father, Charles Sr., who served in the active forces during Korea. And I was struck by the fact that you've had 6 uncles that served in the military, in the cloth of our nation. 3 of your father's brothers served in the same service that you do, and 3 of your mother's brothers served in the Army in Vietnam. I'm glad that they are not aware of a football game this weekend. I think your family would have some tension in it. Both of your parents were gave lifelong service to their communities, and it's clear that that is where your path in service started. Your mom, Rosa, was a teacher, something that's an extraordinary way to serve youngsters in the community, and at 86 years old is still out there getting after it in her church. And I know that she's not here today, but I hope she's watching, and please tell your mom thanks from all of us in the Joint Force. Let's give your mom a big round of applause. And I know your dad served for a long time as well, as I said earlier. It's clear that they raised you and your brothers in such an amazing way to value faith, family, education, and service. And it's really no surprise, my friend, that you were also called to serve. So to your parents, again, thanks for the gift of a great example. I also want to recognize your sons, Lieutenant Commander Joshua Holsey and Jordan Holsey, who are not here today, but they are in spirit. Joshua followed his father into the naval aviation community and is right now out there flying Blackhawks MH-60 Romeos off the USS Abraham Lincoln in the Pacific as we speak, continuing the watch that the Holsey family has carried for 37 and a half years and will go uninterrupted for at least a few more. I'm struck also by Jordan's call to service, an aspiring surgeon at the University of Virginia, a place I only dreamed of getting in, but did not have the GPA to do so. I know he's rushing and doing interviews right now to figure out where he's going to be placed as a resident. It's military kids like Joshua and Jordan who deserve an extraordinary amount of credit, living through multiple deployments, not knowing where they were going to live next, but so clearly seeing in your gift of an example of service and Stephanie's to follow their own path in service. It's deeply humbling for me to know a little bit about them. So to Lieutenant Commander Holsey and soon to be Dr. Holsey, thank you both for your gift of service and sacrifice, and thank you both for carrying forward that incredibly Halsey tradition of service. A round of applause for these two awesome young men. Most of all, I want to recognize and thank you, Stephanie, Dr. Stephanie Holsey, who has given so much to our nation during these years of service. I got to hear a little bit about young Bull's game when he was dating this amazing woman at Spelman, and he was at Morehouse. It's awesome. Stephanie, you are a world-class human, yourself an educator, pouring love and care back into youngsters, then a dentist who, as we talked about upstairs, has practiced in 5 different states, maintaining all of that currency and trying to keep licensing as the Holsey family moved from place to place, but always pouring your time into others. It's the same tradition of service that your husband has, that you've poured into so many of us and to the military families, not just in the Navy, but in the Joint Force. The impact that you've had is extraordinary. We're so glad and so grateful that you've been by Bull's side for all these years, especially here at SOUTHCOM. You care so deeply about our military families. You volunteered at the Red Cross for sailors and Marines in Hawaii. You've served underprivileged communities in Memphis, traveled across AORs to pour into others, and always checked on these youngsters that we're so lucky to serve with and for in our military. You've traveled across this entire region and always caring about others more than you cared about yourself. And you did all this while raising these 2 incredible men that you now have to look back at, and while continuing yourself the tradition of service. Stephanie, there are not words for us to express our gratitude and thanks for you. We're deeply grateful for you, and on behalf of the Joint Force, thank you for the gift of a great example in service. And please join me in a giant round of applause for Stephanie. Awesome. Anybody that knows Bull knows that he's a quiet professional, but I'm going to, and he doesn't like getting talked about, but I'm going to talk about you for a few minutes, Bull. And while it's never been about you, it's always been about people, and it's always been about others. And on this graduation day, I'm going to ask you to indulge me a little bit. In this job, I've talked a little bit about investing and emerging technologies and things like that. But when I look around at founders and entrepreneurial leaders and business leaders and those that pour through as much EQ as they have IQ into others, I land on you, my friend. The way that you walk around, the commands that you've had, the way that you've walked through your life, You've lived a Stoic's philosophy of empathy first, lead with your heart and lead with your head, early, often, and always. You've always looked for that small glimmer of potential in young leaders and helped them to get farther than they ever thought or dreamed that they could get on their own. And when you look out in this crowd, I'm struck by how deep the crowd is, all the way back to those cameras. That's because you've invested in so many people. Just like a young F4 guy invested in you when you were a youngster. Lieutenant Commander retired Fred Espy, a Navy Phantom pilot and Vietnam veteran who took the time to speak with you about the Navy, who then inspired you to join ROTC at Morehouse College and included this small tidbit of, hey, have you thought about being a naval aviator? And you leaped at the chance. And I know he followed up with a letter about these opportunities that's hung in your office for a long, long time. It's a testament to leaders like Commander Espy and Admiral Holsey, who pour into other people over and over and over again. I think it's what makes our military service incredibly important and great. And while you first thought about just joining the Navy to fly, instantly leaders saw something much more in you, a chance to be a commander. In one of your first officer performance reports, someone wrote, even as a young lieutenant, future commanding officer, that does not happen, certainly not in my fit rep early on. It was more like, don't get in trouble again. Those leaders invested in you, and you've learned that power of investing in others over and over again and paid it forward. Whether it was landing a helicopter on a pitching deck at night out at sea or on a 50-yard line at your old high school, talking to young Americans about aviation and the power, the exponential power of service, or modernizing the selection process at Navy Personnel Command, you've always invested in other people. You even did it upstairs just a few minutes ago, talking to your aide and your XO up there. You don't even know that you do that. It is in your DNA to pour love and care into other people. You've made a lifetime of difference. You've had an incredible career as a naval aviator, 2 instructor pilot tours. I'm glad no students killed you, as we were talking about upstairs. And over 14 consecutive years of flying and 4,000 hours of flying. And I am incredibly jealous of that amount of flying time. And as a commander, commanding the Easy Riders of Helicopter Anti-Submarine Squadron 37, commanding the USS Macon Island, Inherent Resolve, Carrier Strike Group 1, Coalition Task Force Sentinel, and of course, United States Southern Command. But the proudest moments, Bull Halsey, are never, as I've said, about you. They are always about others. They are always what they've accomplished. It's always what we did, not what I did. You've never said I in all the conversations we've had. You've only always ever said we. It comes through so deeply, the care and love that you have for not only the humans that you're blessed to lead, but this incredible nation. And it's the small things like winging your son or flying together when he became a naval aviator, or going down to Panama and walking around and hearing the Samson was in port and deviating to go check on your sailors that were aboard Samson out there. You've always invested in others. It's fantastic. And it's a chapter of your book of life that you'll be incredibly proud of. You've made an incredible difference to our joint force. You made an incredible difference here in this headquarters. You make an incredible difference to this nation. And for all that you and Stephanie have done for these last 37 and a half years, know how deeply, deeply grateful we are as a nation and as a joint force for all that you've done for us. We will always be grateful, Bull, for the gift of a great example, for you and your family's service and sacrifice, for the way that you've approached the professionalism of leadership and service, and the impact that you've had will last for a long, long time. So on behalf of the President, the Secretary, and the entire 2.8 million members of the Joint Force, Thank you very much. And to the men and women of SOUTHCOM, from this headquarters to those afloat in the field, thank you for what you do as well. May we never forget, as we sit here on this incredible day, those members of the Joint Force who are out there deployed right now, doing our nation's work to ensure the safety and security of our great nation. And may we always remember those deployed members of the Holsey family who are right now out there on Abe Lincoln, making sure that our nation stays safe. Lastly, as I always do, I ask that we remember our fallen, our Gold Star families who show us what courage and tenacity are like, and those Gold Star members who made the ultimate sacrifice for this great nation. Bull, Stephanie, congratulations on an incredible, incredible career. We wish you nothing but the best in your graduation. And are you about ready to do this? Okay. Oh, yeah. All right. Let's do this. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated for the award presentation. On behalf of the Secretary of War, the Chairman takes great pleasure in presenting the Defense Distinguished Service Medal to Admiral Holsey in recognition of his distinguished service to the United States Southern Command and to the United States Navy for service as set forth in the following citation. Admiral Alvin Holsey, United States Navy, distinguished himself by exceptionally meritorious service and a duty of great responsibility as Commander, United States Southern Command from November 2024 to December 2025. During this period, Admiral Holsey's exceptional operational acumen and strategic vision reshaped the organization into a dynamic warfighting command, advancing peace through strength. His leadership was instrumental in achieving a historic milestone in fiscal year 2025, with Joint Interagency Task Force South operations seizing over 1 million pounds of cocaine, depriving transnational criminal organizations of $11.34 billion in illicit revenue and preventing 337.9 million lethal doses from reaching American communities. Recognizing the threat of malign Chinese influence near the Panama Canal, he spearheaded the establishment of Joint Security Cooperation Group Panama, providing warfighting readiness and interoperability with Panamanian security forces. Moreover, he saw the creation of the Jungle Operations Training Center, enhancing regional capabilities in this strategically significant area. Admiral Holsey also pursued innovative solutions through hybrid fleet campaign events, integrating cutting-edge technologies to enhance maritime domain awareness and counter illicit trafficking. His leadership was critical in supporting the United Nations authorized multinational security support mission in Haiti, enabling a Kenyan-led security force to augment the Haitian National Police and prevent Haiti from descending into a failed state. The distinctive accomplishments of Admiral Holsey culminated a long and distinguished career in the service of his country and reflect great credit upon himself, the United States Navy, and the Department of War. Signed, Pete Hegseth, Secretary of War, December 12, 2025. Admiral Holsey has also received letters of appreciation from former and current Commanders-in-Chief, Secretaries of War, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Secretary of the Navy, Chief of Naval Operations, Commander of Navy Personnel Command, and the Governor of Georgia. Additionally, Admiral Holsey has received a United States flag that flew over two of his previous commands, Carrier Strike Group 1 embarked aboard USS Carl Vinson and USS Macon Island. This morning, the same flag was flown over the United States Southern Command headquarters, symbolizing his last day in command and in recognition of over 37 years of naval service. We are honored to welcome representatives from Miami-Dade County, the city of Doral, and the city of Sweetwater. Each will make a presentation to Admiral Holsey. At this time, Commissioner Bermudez and Commissioner McGee, please join Admiral Holsey on the stage. No, you can do that. Either way would have been fine. Commissioner J.C. Bermudez and the Vice Chairman of the Board of County Commissioners, Keone McGee, are representing the Miami-Dade County Board of Commissioners, and they will now present Admiral Holsey a proclamation signed by the Miami-Dade County Mayor, Daniela Levine Cava, and the 13 members of the Board of County Commissioners. Thank you, Miami-Dade County. Vice Mayor, Ms. Digna Cabral, Councilman Rafael Pinheiro, and Councilwoman Nicole Reynoso, please join Admiral Holsey on the stage. The City of Doral representatives will now present Admiral Holsey with the City of Doral proclamation signed by Mayor Christy Fraga. Thank you, City of Doral. Hold on. Don't fall. Don't fall. Mayor Diaz, please join Admiral Holsey on the stage. I know you're not giving him a cue. Mayor Diaz. Oh, I already said that. The City of Sweetwater, Jose Pepe Diaz, will now present Admiral Holsey with a proclamation and a key to the City of Sweetwater. Yes. Thank you, Mayor Diaz. At this time, Lieutenant Commander Edwin Valentin is escorting Dr. Stephanie Holsey to the stage, where General Kane will present her the Distinguished Public Service Medal. This is to certify that the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff has awarded the Distinguished Public Service Medal to Dr. Stephanie Holsey, as set forth in the following citation. Dr. Stephanie N. Holsey distinguished herself by exemplary leadership, service, and support to the United States Southern Command's soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, Guardians, Coast Guardsmen, civilians, and family members from November 2024 to December 2025. During this period, she demonstrated unwavering dedication to enhancing the quality of life for United States Southern Command personnel and their families, whether deployed, stationed overseas, or residing in South Florida. Her tireless efforts directly contributed to the readiness and morale of service members, Department of Defense civilians, and family members across the command. She traveled to over 20 countries throughout Central America, South America, and the Caribbean, engaging with every country team within the area of responsibility. She addressed critical issues such as medical care, housing, spouse employment, child care, and education, ensuring families receive the care and the support they needed. She actively engaged with command families in person and through social media, collaborated with the U.S. Army Garrison, and served as an advisor for total engagement for all members, United States Southern Command. Her efforts improved communication, expanded opportunities, and provided critical support to all members of the command. Dr. Holsey's unwavering commitment to family resiliency and unit morale fostered a sense of unity and belonging within the United States Southern Command's community. Her selfless volunteerism and dedication ensured families remained resilient in the face of adversity, directly enhancing the command's operational readiness. The distinctive accomplishments of Dr. Holsey are in keeping with the finest traditions of public service and reflect great credit upon herself, United States Southern Command, and the Department of War. Signed, J. Daniel Kane, General, United States Air Force, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, December 12, 2025. At this time, United States Southern Command Intelligence Specialist Second Class Josie Salazar is presenting a bouquet of bloomed red roses to Dr. Holsey. It is customary for the departing spouse to receive bloomed roses, symbolizing the growth of relationships with military spouses and others during her time on station. Dr. Holsey has blossomed as a leader among SOUTHCOM spouses and families, while also embodying the resilience of a Navy spouse on a 37-year journey. For the spouses of a 4-star admiral, this journey mirrors a rose garden, requiring care, adaptability, and strength through trials. The blooming roses reflect the relationships built on trust, love, and perseverance, thriving despite complexities. Thank you, Dr. Holsey, for your time with us, your SOUTHCOM family, and for the sacrifices you have made over 37 years. Ladies and gentlemen, Commander, United States Southern Command, Admiral Alvin Holsey, United States Navy.
But I haven't said anything yet. You are what you aspire to be and not what you are now. You are what you do with your youth and what you do with your mind. Those words from Dr. Benjamin Lajeunesse, and I think they're quite appropriate as I think about a young boy from small town Georgia who dreamed of becoming an aviator but had never been in a plane before. But I believed. I believed then like I believe now, in goals, strength, and determination. Those are the things that dreams are made of, and those are the things that breed success. Sometimes we must be what we cannot see, and sometimes we must follow a path that's not well traveled. But we follow that path because we know we've been blessed by the grace of God. My father served in the Army in the Korean War. His 3 brothers all served in the Navy. 3 of my mother's 4 brothers served in Vietnam. I don't think they could have imagined the possibilities, but God keeps his promise. Sometimes he takes you on a journey that you don't know you need to bring you everything you ever wanted. I've been blessed to have worn the cloth for our nation for over 37 years, so I think it's quite appropriate for me to do a 37-minute speech this morning. Okay, it's a little hotter than I thought, so we won't do that. As I stand in front of this reflecting pond, I think about my years of service, and I'm always reminded of people, the conversations, the handshakes, the promotions, the memorials, the births, and the time away, and the comfort of people who always cared, who came into my life and made it better. I'm reminded that in life, we don't remember days, we remember moments. Those we lead don't follow titles, they follow courage. And they remember the moments and how you made them feel. They remember those who listened and treated them with dignity and respect. I learned those simple words from my parents many years ago, and they've stayed with me throughout my life. I'd like to take a moment to remember Mr. Michael L. White, our Deputy Chief of Security and our Intelligence Directorate, who passed away on the 25th of November. His wife, Sharon, is also a member of the SOUTHCOM family. Sharon, we're thinking about you and your family during this time. Chairman Kane, thanks for being here. I know your schedule is very busy, so Stephanie and I appreciate you taking the time. We're truly honored. And great comments, a great history. You went and pulled that stuff up from somewhere, so great delivery. Former Secretary of Toro, who's no stranger to Miami, thanks for being here as well. To the several distinguished guests, community leaders, allies, partners, families, friends of SOUTHCOM, thank you all for being here today. Commissioner J.C. Bermudez, great to see you again, my friend. Also to Mayor Pape Diaz, the Mayor of Sweetwater. And of course, he's a U.S. Marine. Hold on, man. Okay, I said it, so I give you that, right? So, and also Vice Mayor Cabral, thanks for being here as well. Thank you so much. And I got a key to Sweetwater, so not that I'm, a key is a key, right? So I'd also like to thank the Guy Fieri Foundation for providing lunch to the SOUTHCOM team later today. I spoke to Guy yesterday, and he sent a special video message on Wednesday that we played at our town hall. He understands who we are. He has a passion for taking care of those who serve, and we wish him a speedy recovery. Also, special thanks to our Joint Engagement Visitors Bureau, the Conference Center of the Americas, the U.S. Army Band, Color Guard, and the U.S. Garrison in Miami. See, the place looks lovely. Again, a little heaty. Oh, there's a breeze coming in now. I feel that, so that's good. I also have an incredible executive assistant, Miss Monica Mellon. It doesn't take much to realize that she's also a Marine. I got to stop saying that Marine word here, so you guys don't. Okay, I'm not going to say it again. Also, to my previous EA, Miss Suzanne Davis, you guys are the best. Thank you so much. There are several people here today that have been there for me, Stephanie, and the boys. You've made us better, and we cannot achieve any level of success without family, mentors, and friends. I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome and recognize some of our special guests. And of course, there's one person who's been there for the last 37 years. I generally refer to her as a cute girl with pretty eyes in the front row, and a major distraction at times as well. From my commissioning to my winging to my promotions, a change of command, and now retirement. A bit more about her later. Several mentors and friends from over the years, Admiral Wins and Cousin V, thanks for being here. Admirals Walker, Watkins, Pringle, Generals Carter, Jackson, Crumley, and Burton. And I will just say that General Crumley is actually from my hometown of Fort Valley, Georgia. We grew up in the same church. That's incredible. Small town Georgia and 2 flag officers. So thanks for being here. He and his wife, Letitia. My component commanders, I'm just using their first name, Pauls, Phil, Los, Lonnie, Mark, Jeff, Steve, Rob, along with a little help from Cal, John, and Heidi. Thanks for being here as well, guys. To the Johnsons, Coopers, Gordons, Whites, the Browns, the Wrights, the Jacksons. I know I'm going to miss somebody, but I did it anyway. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a part of my family. I'd also like to recognize my command senior enlisted leader, Sergeant Major Rodriguez, and his wife Sheila. He understands mission, and he is a true difference maker. My civilian deputy commander, Ambassador Stephanie Simtek Remnaf. I said it right. I know I did. I'm just saying, people have trouble with her name, and I got it. She's an exceptional leader who has helped us think differently about how to engage in the region. My military deputy commander, Lieutenant General Lamar Pettus, has been a great friend, and he's the right person to take the helm and lead. Stephanie, I wish you and Christian Godspeed. Over the heads of Morehouse, of our students, Morehouse holds a crown that challenges them to grow tall enough to wear. I have several Morehouse brothers here today who are exceptional leaders in their various fields. So thanks for being here, thanks for the support, and thanks for coming out. They're fellow midshipmen from the historic Morehouse NRLTC unit. We stood the test and joined the best, led by men like Gordon, S.B., Hutchison, Elder, and others who dreamed that we could do more, dreamed that we could be more. To my fraternity brothers, Omega Psi Phi fraternity, who travel from all over here to get here today, they always come, and they come every time. A group of doctors, lawyers, business leaders, military officers, pastors, educators who wanted to be here to celebrate. Thank you for coming. You have no idea what your uplift and friendship means. I have squadron mates, shipmates from multiple commands who wanted to be here today. HSL 37, USS Macon Island, Carrier Strike Group 1. I see you guys out there. Commanders Nation, Lachetti, and Commander Corlett. My mom wanted to be here and come from Fort Valley, but I told her this time I will be home for Christmas. You know, the song, I didn't sing the song, but I'll be home for Christmas. I owe everything that I am to my mother and father. Their prayers, encouragement, direction, and love taught us who we were. We're family. To my brothers Eric and Alex, I look forward to catching up and spending some time with you both. My brother Charles passed away, but his presence is always near. To our sons, Joshua, Jordan, two young men who have made our lives meaningful. Our oldest son, Josh, is a naval aviator. He's currently on deployment at Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group, and he still holds the undisputed title as best aviator in the family. I kind of gave it to him, right? Just make him feel good, yeah. To his new bride of 90 days, Ashley, welcome to the family and welcome to deployments. Our youngest son, Jordan, is in his final year at UVA Medical School, and he's an aspiring surgeon, future doctor, and he wanted to be here so bad. But he has 2 interviews, one today, one tomorrow, and for his residency, and we told him that was much more important. So he's doing that. Your mom and I could not be prouder of the young men you've become. You have filled our lives with something truly special. I think it's just unconditional love. My dear Stephanie, the cute girl with pretty eyes who's still in the front row after all these years. I don't know what she sees in me, but she loves me, and I'll follow where she leads. She makes me the best that I can be. I love you yesterday, I love you today, and I will love you tomorrow. Also have family members from Fort Valley. I was going to bring this up because of the with my mom. So my mom sent some special guests here to be with her as well. So I have the Holden family. I have my Dr. Reed and Eric Reed and James, and also have a good friend of mine, a football player, all-pro back in the day. I used to take him out all the time and crush him on the football field. Greg Lloyd, he used to play for the Steelers back in the day. Thanks for being here. To our partners, SOUTHCOM remains on the front line of strategic competition. True partnerships will always be our best deterrents to countering shared security and economic concerns. And we must always be there for like-minded partners, like-minded nations who share our values, democracy, rule of law, and human rights. I concluded my final commanders conference yesterday, and I was clear with my team. To be a trusted partner, we must be credible, present, and engaged. We have worked hard and tirelessly to build relationships and understand requirements across the region. That work must continue across the whole of government to deliver at the point of need to respond to shared threats in our neighborhood. The time is now. We must continue to move with absolute purpose and precision. To the men and women of the United States Southern Command, it has been a tremendous honor to stand shoulder to shoulder with you over the last few years. When I took command, I only asked for one thing, your personal best. You have exceeded my expectations. You represent the finest among us, and your dedicated efforts will shape this region for years to come. Your vision must be enduring, a secure, free, and prosperous Western Hemisphere. You have everything you need to succeed, and that's each other. Thank you all. God bless this region, our nation, and all who serve. Thank you. Lieutenant General Pettus, I'm ready to be relieved.
Sir, I relieve you. Sir, it's an active command of the United States Ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant General Evan L. Pettus, Acting Commander, United States Southern Command. I'm going to try to do this without my glasses. We'll see how that works out. Maybe if I stand back from the podium a bit. Chairman, Admiral Holsey, distinguished guests, men and women of United States Southern Command, it's an honor to stand before you today. As Admiral Holsey transitions to retirement after a truly remarkable career, I'm humbled to assume this role of the Acting Commander of United States Southern Command. Admiral, Chairman, I know I wouldn't have this opportunity without the support from both of you, so I thank each of you for your faith and confidence, and Secretary Hegseth as well. I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to my family, my wife Kirsten, my daughter Katie, and my son Luke, for their love and support, and all the rest of our incredible family network that helped us get where we are in our careers today. Admiral Holsey, you know, it was pretty clear as the chairman went through it, and it's pretty clear from a glance at your biography what an accomplished warrior, ship driver, and leader that you are. But I think the chairman really, he really hit it on the head. The hallmark of your leadership is mentorship. It's making people and making people better and developing them. And you know that stood out during your command here as well. We are better as a command because of you, and I can't thank you enough. Thank you as well, Stephanie, for all you've poured into this command in 37 years of an outstanding career. To the men and women of SOUTHCOM, I first joined this command over 3 years ago, and not a day has gone by that I haven't felt privileged to be a part of it. Your professionalism, commitment, and capability are unmatched, and I'm honored to continue serving with you in this new capacity. The challenges we face are complex, but working together and with our partners, we can and will make a lasting impact, and I'm looking forward to the adventure. God bless you all, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you. Admiral Holsey will now read his retirement orders.
Uh-oh. Or not. Okay, thank you very much for that. You're too kind. Somebody didn't want me to leave, I guess. I will now read my orders. From Chief of Naval Operations, order number 3035. Your request to be transferred to the retired list has been approved by the Secretary of the Navy. Effective 1 February 2026, you'll be transferred to the retired list in the grade of Admiral, pursuant to the provisions of Title 10 United States Code. Detach on 12 December 2025, that's today, and from duty as Commander, United States Southern Command, relieve of all active duty effective 2359, 31 January 2026. Signed, Chief of Naval Operations. Sergeant Major Rodriguez, haul down my flag.
Bosun, stand by to pipe the side. Shipmate is going ashore. This order has been passed on naval ships from the 1500s through today. Spanish, French, English, Dutch. Yes, all the navies of the world use the bosun, sideboys, and call to bring aboard or send ashore all ship's company officers, visiting officers, dignitaries, and VIPs. The sideboys would haul on the ropes and raise or lower the boarding platform so officers would not have to climb the rat line, which were hanging over the side and used by the enlisted crew when going ashore or to get aboard. This honor was extended to visiting officers, dignitaries, and port officials. It was not uncommon for the commanding officer of the ship to order up the jolly boat, a crew of 8 strong backs, sideboys, bosun, to send an old shipmate and fellow officer to his shore retirement, home, never to sail on naval ships again. All hands on deck was passed. Speeches were made about great victories, battles fought upon the open sea, raging storms weathered, and voyages to distant and strange lands with port of calls others only dream about. Then a fine word, a brace of pistols, or a rifle, a musket, or maybe a sea chest, of fine wood and bound in brass, was presented to remind him of crews and ships he had served with. The bosun would stand tall, the sideboys. The retiree would request permission to go ashore, step to the platform, and the sideboys would lower away. As the jolly boat pulled away, the gunner would fire a salute from the ship's main battery. The retirees sat in the stern sheets going ashore. Today, our history has given most of the pomp and circumstances, the honors, traditions, and ceremonies back to history. Time does not give us the freedom to do these things from the past, but we still have to stop all engines, lay about smartly, and drop anchor to pay honor to one of our shipmates going ashore. To honor the years served, the guidance, the leadership, the friendship, and the expertise that this shipmate has freely given these 37 years. Ladies and gentlemen, in keeping with the time-honored naval tradition, Admiral Holsey will now request permission from the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff to go ashore for the final time. Time orderly, strike 8 bells. Admiral Alvin Holsey, United States Navy, retired, departing.
Oh, yes, he did. He said he would. I'm always leaving. On that midnight train to Georgia. Yeah. Said he's going back to find, ooh, a simpler place and time. Oh, yeah. And I'm gonna be with him.
Time orderly, strike 8 bells. Admiral Alvin Holsey, United States Navy, retired, and Dr. Stephanie Holsey, departing.
Oh, he's leaving. On the midnight train to Georgia. Yeah. Ooh, y'all. Said he's going back to find. Ooh, a simpler place and time. Ooh, y'all. I've got to be with him.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stay seated for the departure of the official party.
I'd rather live in his world than live without him.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. A farewell line for Admiral and Dr. Holsey will be located in the headquarters building entrance foyer beyond the gate to the left of the stage. On behalf of Admiral Holsey, Lieutenant General Pettus, and the men and women of United States Southern Command, thank you for attending.